Etihad Airways has positioned itself as the flag bearer of the UAE capital city Abu Dhabi, becoming a strategic partner in global aviation and a competitor unafraid to punch above its weight. This is the journey of Etihad Airways, a story of ambition, expansion, and innovation of an airline that had to adapt to many challenges in its path. Etihad Airways was established by royal decree in July of 2003 by Abu Dhabi's rulers. There was a clear vision to create a world-class airline that would put Abu Dhabi on the global aviation map, much like Dubai had done with Emirates. Operation began just a few months later in November 2003, with an Airbus A380-200 flying to the neighboring city of Al Ain. A few days later, the airline made its first trip abroad, flying to Beirut on November 12th and officially marking the start of its commercial service. This was a part of Abu Dhabi's broader plan to diversify its economy beyond oil using aviation, tourism, and infrastructure. In its early years, Etihad focused on steady growth. By 2006, it added multiple aircraft to its fleet, like the Airbus A340, and began flying to major European, Asian, and African cities, making itself known as a premium airline. In 2007, under the new CEO James Hogan, Etihad built its new head office in Abu Dhabi, along with a state-of-the-art training center for pilots and cabin crew.
Well, it's about ensuring that our onboard staff, our crew, who are the best in the world, are able to train in a facility which is real, which enables them to reinforce their skills, sharpen their attitude, and that's what training is all about.
People from different backgrounds moved to Abu Dhabi, becoming employees of this new airline, and were provided accommodation, benefits, and great salaries. In 2008, Etihad Airways placed the biggest aircraft order in history for that time at the Farnborough Air Show. This order included the Airbus A320, the A350 types, Boeing 777, and the 787, which was in production by that time. Also, 10 Airbus A380 were to be delivered, the biggest commercial aircraft in the skies. Those 10 aircraft would represent the flagship of the fleet. In the early 2010s, Etihad also began a bold move, investing in struggling airlines with the aim of building its own global alliance. Under this strategy, Etihad bought stakes in Air Berlin, Alitalia, Jet Airways, Air Seychelles, and a few others.
Abu Dhabi-based Etihad Airways is to spend €73 million to increase its stake in Air Berlin to almost 30%. The deal represents a lifeline for debt-laden Air Berlin, which has been trying to shrink its way back to profit.
But what was the purpose of these investments? Etihad wanted to build a competent network through partnerships, extending Etihad's reach without the cost of flying everywhere directly. This path was a controversial one and definitely an ambitious choice for the airline. James Hogan, the CEO of Etihad, was at the helm of those changes, and he is arguably one of the most important figures in Etihad's history, as he led the airline during this phase, overseeing fast expansion. But of course, where does all that passenger traffic come from? The bulk is connecting traffic. Following a hub-to-spoke model, Abu Dhabi serves as the coordinating entity. You see, along with its neighboring airlines, Etihad is well positioned geographically for growth, with passengers traveling across continents and connecting via Abu Dhabi. In 2014, the aviation world got shocked by Etihad's new onboard product, the Residence, a 3-room suite in the sky on board its newly purchased Airbus A380s, complete with a trained butler on board. Etihad came up with a new campaign and motto, Flying Reimagined. The airline welcomed its Boeing 787 and Airbus A380 in its new livery, having matching cabin interiors. The livery was inspired by the colors of the UAE. The product on board was changed, new first-class apartments and business-class studios were introduced, and of course cabin crew uniforms. Those uniforms and branding were launched by having a fashion show in Abu Dhabi, certainly a unique experience.
From our view, this truly epitomises the remarkable evolution of the Etihad Airways brand in just 11 years.
The airline was positioning itself as a top competitor in the premium segment, winning passengers over with its luxurious product offering and network connectivity. By 2015, Etihad had 20,000 employees, having carried 17 million passengers. It also differentiated itself from other airlines in the region by knowing its customers.
They will see the future and knock down the walls to reach it. Because their goal isn't to improve on what has been done before, but to totally reimagine it.
Etihad aircraft got equipped with a Mecca pointer in a designated praying area, allowing Muslim passengers to determine the direction of Mecca during flights. Falcons were allowed on board as Falcon ownership aligns with the UAE's cultural heritage. Etihad initiated programs like the Flying Nanny, a designated cabin crew on long-haul flights assisting families with babies. This ensured a comfortable journey for both parents and children. By this point, the airline was winning multiple awards every year for in-flight service, the best business class, best first class, best cabin crew, the world's leading airline, and many more awards. At the same time, competition in the region intensified. During 2014 to 15, Emirates was expanding aggressively with its massive Airbus A380 fleet and unbeatable Dubai hub. Qatar Airways also doubled down on service quality and connectivity via Doha. Etihad was catching up. Unfortunately, as the decade progressed, the equity partnership strategy started to show turbulence. Many of Etihad's equity partners began to bleed cash. Air Berlin filed for bankruptcy in 2017, Jet Airways collapsed, and Alitalia didn't really stabilize under Etihad's umbrella, forcing a major rethink.
Etihad re-emphasized that it cannot be the sole investor.
Air Berlin released a statement saying all flights booked before August 15th will not be refunded.
Now, Air Berlin is in talks with selling pieces of their company to Lufthansa and EasyJet.
In response, Etihad began to scale back, cutting routes. Orders for new aircraft were postponed or cancelled. The company restructured with a sharper focus on profitability over growth. James Hogan stepped down as the CEO and was replaced by Tony Douglas, a British executive. He was hired to clean up the mess left by Equity Alliance fallout. The new campaign was Choose Well. The company gave up on the equity partnership idea and tried to focus more on its own operations. In 2020, the pandemic hit global aviation hard, and Etihad was no exception. Flights ground to a halt and the airline reported heavy losses. Etihad's problems have gone from bad to worse.
National airline based in the UAE in Abu Dhabi announced layoffs today directly tied to the pandemic, and that says there will be layoffs in several areas across the business group.
In the world of aviation, I think it was the most challenging year in history, 2020, and as a born optimist, I certainly hope things will get a lot better in 2021 and onwards.
But we can also say COVID gave the company a chance to reset. Etihad has rebranded itself with a new mission: be smaller but smarter. It retired its A380s, shifted towards a leaner, more fuel-efficient fleet, with the likes of the Boeing 787 or the narrow-body 320s. It started to focus on direct code-sharing, route rationalization, and improving operational efficiency. Once the post-COVID passenger demand came back, the airline was perfectly positioned to grow. And it worked. The airline returned to near break-even results and received praise for its health and safety protocols, winning a number of awards post-pandemic. Etihad was on the road to recovery. In 2022, Tony Douglas stepped down as the CEO, going to Saudi Arabia to later join Riyadh Air. He was replaced by Antonualdo Neves, previously CEO and board member of TAP, the national airline of Portugal. Antonualdo came in with clear goals: make Etihad Airways profitable and sustainable. 2023 became a booming year for Etihad with fleet optimization, new routes and a profit of $143 million. Revenue was streamlined and even the Airbus A380 returned to the Etihad network, helping the airline cover the demand, and thus returning to former glory. Etihad became once again one of the fastest growing airlines in the world. In 2024, Etihad Airways announced strong performances across all its key metrics and a record $371 million profit. It also expanded its global network, launching more than 20 new destinations worldwide, including major cities like Boston, Jaipur and Nairobi. To support the mass expansions and general operations, Etihad hired more than 2,000 new employees and promoted more than 1,500 workers, mainly pilots and cabin crew.
We're growing, as I told you, right? Every time you add one plane, you have to hire about 70 people. So if you add 20 planes, it's 1,400 people. We're going to be hiring 2,000 people. It's a lot.
And is that across the spectrum? That's not just cabin crew, that's engineering. So where's the biggest hire?
The majority is cabin crew,
okay,
pilots and engineers and technicians. It's really a very happy day for everyone in Etihad.
As for Abu Dhabi, it is growing along with its airline via the new Zayed International Airport, with capacity to match regional competitors. This is a new Etihad, 16 new destinations for 2025, with Atlanta, Hanoi and Addis Ababa among them. The airline has come a long way from its first flight in 2003. It soared high in the 2010s, faced a painful reality check by the end of the decade, and now is flying smarter, leaner and more sustainable. Etihad may not be the biggest, but it has carved out a clear identity, premium and purpose-driven. The new brand refresh and company campaign is called Beyond Borders. New business class seats were introduced on both the Boeing 787 and the Airbus A350. A different aircraft is part of the Etihad fleet, the Airbus A321LR, which can fly long range while having low capacity. That is ideal for point-to-point flights. For the first time ever, Etihad will install a long-haul style product on board its narrow-body aircrafts, with lay-flat business class and first-class seats. I believe the airline is heading in the right direction, having adapted to the winds of change multiple times. So what's in store for Etihad's future? We'll have to wait and see. The sky is the limit. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's one of my first documentary types on this channel. Please let me know what are your thoughts. At the same time, let me know if I missed anything important. Like, subscribe, and see you soon.